Hi there everybody, lords, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the great and glorious, fascinating and sensational Nick Dutch back on the camera yet again, one more time. Hi there, how the heck is it going? Right, okay, we got another PM. I noticed it's turning into a bit of a series, you know. Nick Dutch talks to the people who are talking to Nick Dutch, you know, engaging with the audience. So here we go. This is a YouTube user whose channel name is Thorvius or Thorvius. I'm not quite sure what the correct pronunciation there is. And this is a very interesting character who's approaching all this weird heebie-jeebie stuff from a very interesting point of view. Namely, he is actually an atheist. But he's interested in the subject and he is very results-orientated. And wants to know whether being an atheist would actually affect the results. Where do I begin? Now, if you're someone who is totally skeptical of any form of results, that should, in theory, not actually hamper you from trying to get some kind of weird experiences. The process, I mean, a lot of the attitudes that I personally take is that I do a lot of meditation. I use my mind machine rather a lot. I try and alter my mind and generate meditative states of mind. I use religious concepts as if they're hypnotic. Okay, they're a hypnotic suggestion in their own right. And during, let's say, a meditation, I would temporarily suspend my disbelief. Okay? And that can help, but it still takes a bloody long time for you to actually get anywhere in terms of any form of strange sensation or strange experience that you could possibly, like, make you turn around and go, what happened there? The way I see it is that it's very good to be skeptical. I mean, I'm making a wild extrapolation here that you're probably an atheist because you've come across so many Venom Fang X's or weird people who come out with tons of claims, don't really know how to think, and they're the ones who are all like the very religious New Agey types, and you don't want to be associated with them. Well, neither do I. If I'm really honest, okay, because there's too many of them about. A lot of people think that some like witchcrafty thing is somehow an upgrade upon, let's say, Christianity, when basically I don't really see any major difference, really. You know, there's beliefs on both sides of things, there's ceremony on both sides of things. There's wild extrapolations on both sides of things, and they don't actually, you know, there's a hard literalist core in Christianity and a hard literalist core in witchcraft as well. I'm not one of them. I don't take that particular attitude. I mean, I might have developed some kind of like weak beliefs, okay, because I think that's what like deistic type people tend to do. We can have a belief in something, but we don't have to say that we understand it. But all these literalist people say, no, I know this, I know that. Well, I know. No, they don't. They've just had a weird experience, and they've extrapolated from there to a worldview which is too extreme and not necessarily planned, you know, thought through with sufficient depth or intelligence. And they're allowing their belief to like stop, you know, like a brick wall, to stop any further thought and experimentation and investigation as to what's really going on. So I can understand why you'd be an atheist. You've probably noticed that I myself, I mean, if you've been following me on the internet, you've probably noticed that I've actually been following a lot of the atheist YouTubers as well. Because, you know, it's good to have that other point of view, and I don't see anything really wrong with a person being an atheist if that's what really makes them happy. I myself am not an atheist, but, you know, I sympathize with a lot of their ideas, but also they're attacking literalism to the most part. They're not really attacking some form of transcendentalism. Definitely not a form of transcendentalism that is understanding of the universe driven, rather than, oh, it must be true, there must be ghosts, I believe that, yes, 100%, yes. Well, people like that, you know, they just do my nuts in. I mean, seriously. Right. One thing that helps is to temporarily suspend your disbelief. That's why that's one of the reasons why religious activity can be useful. You might think, well, I don't believe in all this stuff that I'm doing. Well, you practice and you learn to try and suspend your disbelief when you're doing weird stuff. Because if you look around the material world today, surrounded by computers, modern technology, everyone on their mobile phones, and living a normal life, it's very hard to be a literalist or a ultra spiritual person, because everything is so very normal, very physical, and very tangible. Okay, so that's why you create like moments in time, in your time, that you set aside when you do the kind of things that's going to make you think that it's slightly more different, it's slightly more spiritual or weird somehow. That's why people burn candles, they burn incense, they create little robes for themselves if they're that way inclined, whatever it is that makes you happy, if you get my drift. And so on and so forth. With me, it's like a deep meditation. I do meditations on chakra openings because that assists in creating that transcendental feeling, especially if you're doing like crown chakra, which is like the top of your head visualization. It doesn't matter whether chakras exist or not, basically. Okay, for that purposes, you just get really deep into it, and you try and generate that almost cathedral-like state of mind inside yourself as a result of doing hypnotic activities such as mantras, for instance. And visualizing it and trying to bring about that state of mind, not through stressed willpower, but just trying to remember what that state of mind felt like last time you walked into a really beautiful cathedral and you felt yourself like, oh my word, in that state of reverence, which even atheistic people get when they're in such a beautiful building, if you get my drift. And try and bring that about, and then try and do your weird stuff. And again, it's going to take you probably years before you get anywhere. Alright, there's reasons why I recommend and I talk about astral projection. There's reasons why I recommend and I talk about meditation and trying to learn more about mind-body interconnectivity through doing mind-body interconnectivity type stuff. Because you're more likely to get somewhere quicker if you do that, rather than trying to cure your next door neighbor's cat of a broken leg through burning a yellow candle on a Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Okay? So no, I don't think being an atheist will actually stop you. I think that being an atheist could be good because you can switch yourself back into that rational critical state of mind after you've done your weird bit. Okay? So just give it a go. Practice. If you don't play with it, it won't get any better.